हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे बोल। हरे कृष्णा। जय हो। Okay, we'll start in a few minutes. Please join. Hare Krishna. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नित्यानामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Govinda Jai Jai, Gopal Jai Jai, Radha Raman Hari Govinda Jai Jai, Govinda Jai Jai, Gopal Jai Jai, Radha Raman Hari Govinda Jai Jai, Govinda 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 Govinda, Gopal 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 Gopal, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, huh? So, that you get this chair. Yeah. Oh, can you call? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Can you call Balram otherwise? Hare Krishna. Balram को इधर घर नहीं सुनना हम लोग. Hare Krishna. He left already? Okay, that's fine. Hare.
No, he's not coming.
Oh, he's not coming?
Yeah.
Okay,
Going for a Kirtan program.
I see.
Wheelchair आणि आपण
Dining table chair.
त्याचे
Yeah. काय लोक असतात काही? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. This is good? Okay. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. We need to little bit down that one? Or?
I did, I pushed it all the way down.
Oh, always down?
I
Okay.
don't think it goes anymore.
Go
No,
down.
it's all the way at the bottom.
Okay.
It's
Hare
okay, right?
Krishna.
It's okay, right?
Yeah, this is okay. Let's do some kirtan 5 minutes then we can. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bole Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bole Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare बोलिए Hare Krishna Hare Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. Wo. Hare Krishna. So Ananda, you want to introduce Mataji? Come. Tell this topic and introduce Mataji, I'm saying. You want to introduce Mataji, I'm saying, come. Come. So I need to change the settings towards, because Mataji moved to that side, so the broadcasting now. So this is the microphone we did.
Put the chair there. So we can put the chair
You
there.
understand? Okay, that will be better. Can you help, Prabhuji? And this one has only sitting arrangement. Is it possible to hold it and do microphone, or we can put another table side? Yeah, because this is, it doesn't go only for sitting.
It doesn't go any higher.
Yeah, so we had the higher one, but nothing used, so we just took it back. Good now.
Can it go on top? Oh, that's where your.
There are tables. You have a table.
No, which chair inside, he can bring it here. Yes.
Here, then. Oh, there.
Wait. Okay, everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. So we can put the computer and the mic.
Another table.
Is another table out there?
Yeah, let's get another table.
The mic on it.
Yeah, we need to put the mic on another table. Now, can you see, so that I am to see that? This should be coming close
Yeah.
center.
It's good, right?
Tell me which one is, this is good?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Maybe a little.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. So this is resting, and then we just need to put this one and
This is our
you put the bhajan books and all.
Oh,
Yeah.
Now with the mic kind of.
oh, thank you.
Haribo.
Bye, Haribo. So pretty. Garlands are
It's a
so
long
nice.
one though.
Yeah.
The table put on the side so that it's easier. That side. Then to put it.
Do I need this?
No. Take it off. Bhajan.
That's good.
We'd like to welcome her with Jagarini Mataji for today's class. She has come all the way from Florida. And she used to be here in Bay Area for many years, but she's moved out to Florida now, to Alachua. And she's been residing there with
That's good.
her husband, Dr. Nathur. They're both her Srila Prabhupada's disciples. And she has been serving in ISKCON maybe 55 years or more than that.
Mm.
Yeah. When she was a teenager, she joined ISKCON. I can imagine. So she was a high school student in New York. She was born and brought up there. And she came along with Niratula Mataji, Vashishika Prabhu's wife, and another Kanka Mataji. Three of them, they flew over here for that hippie movement at that time to California. And then somehow they met devotees and became, Srila Prabhupada's disciples. And Mataji served in LA Temple for many years before moving to Bay Area. She was a Gurukul teacher, she was a pujari doing deity worship, cooking, and everything. And here also she is serving in ISKCON of Silicon Valley as a board member. And our new temple in ISB, the temple you see, Mataji designed the whole remodeling of the church we had bought. So everything she has done. So we'd like to welcome Mataji and thank you so much for coming.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, I have to go close.
Sorry.
I got, if you put that more in
I
front
would
of me.
have got the bigger one.
Yes, that's better.
No, it has to be like this. And
Okay,
yes. So,
so it doesn't tip over.
yeah,
Okay,
that's good.
yeah, now it's close enough.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for inviting me. It's so nice to be here. I came to get out of the heat in Alachua. This is the hot time of year. And I also, for the past many years, I help cook the free feast in Rath Yatra in Los Angeles. We cook for 10,000 people, and it's really a lot of fun. And so I'm always here at that time. And I also got to do service for Janmashtami and Srila Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja. And see my kids, see the devotees. And I spoke at the Bhakti Center in Santa Cruz a few days ago on Wednesday, and now I get to meet all of you. This Krishna consciousness movement is spreading like wildfire. Prabhupada said it's the peace formula. So in this age of quarrel, when everybody misunderstands everybody, if we lead a Krishna-centered life, trying to put Krishna in the center, then it minimizes our quarrel in this world. But we have to work on it. It doesn't just happen by chance. So, today I was asked to speak about householder life and raising children and how it can be fun for them. And when I was thinking about it, I kind of got more interested in the dynamics of preparing to raise a child, because I think that that's probably where most of the work is done. Once you have a child in your family, you don't have much time to think about it. You know, you get very, very busy with your household responsibilities and raising them. So anyway, first of all, I think what I'd like to do is start with something I heard about Krishna conscious married life in Mayapur on Srila Bhaktisiddhanta's appearance day a couple years ago in a class given by Jayapataka Swami, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami. He read an excerpt from an article that was written by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta for the Harmonist magazine. It was written, I don't have the date, but it was quite a while ago. And the article was entitled Relations Between the Sexes. And what I liked about this class that he gave was it kind of set straight the purpose of a Krishna conscious marriage. And let me read what is in the article. The cardinal principle of Grihastha Ashram is that no one may be owner of any property or service of another. Everyone is only a servant whose activities are ever in the service of the Lord. Similarly, the sole object of everyone's service as the only master, only friend, only son, and only consort is Krishna. Marrying and giving in marriage do not give rise to any rights of a master, either to the husband or to the wife. Men and women are joined in wedlock for the purpose of serving each other in the performance of the joint service of Krishna. The wife is not an object of enjoyment of the husband, nor vice versa. They do not marry for gratifying their sexual appetites. They marry for pleasing the Lord, not for pleasing themselves. They choose for their partners only such persons who serve God better than they serve themselves. They offer themselves to be accepted by their partners for the favor of being allowed to share in their superior service of Hari. Neither the husband nor the wife should claim the services of his or her partner on their own account. Both of them are only to offer their services if and when their partner is pleased to permit them to share their service of Hari. None of them can force their partners to serve them. This system of household discipline has its roots in the joint worship of the household deity by all members of the family. Now, I really was impressed with that article because when I was a new devotee, I was not in the very, very early days when Jamuna and Shamasundar and the original sannyasis in New York. Mukunda Maharaj, so many. Those devotees, when Prabhupada came there and started chanting in Tompkins Square Park and attracted those devotees and they started to follow him, at that time, it was like a family. Prabhupada was very close to them. They would call him Swamiji. And he was very, very friendly, personally friendly with each of them. And he would slowly, slowly teach them the principles of Krishna consciousness. Very slowly, very patiently, because this was a completely different concept than any of us were ever used to. By the time I joined, it was 1973, there was already a pretty thriving movement. I joined, I actually was living in Santa Cruz, and we met Satsrup Maharaj, and he put on a little preaching program every evening in, they were then Fred and Jane, they became Amichananda and Jagarini in their house. They opened up their house for him. And every night he'd have a little evening program and we would go. And we went for about, I would say, 2 weeks straight every night. And we just knew in our hearts that this was our path. So he called the temple president in Los Angeles, and the temple president said, bring them. And we got into his van and we went to the LA temple and we stayed there for many years. And the LA temple was thriving. It was actually the world headquarters at that time. It was what Mayapur is today. Any traveling person would stop there and give classes, beautiful classes, so much going on in Los Angeles. And the mood changed a little bit with the birth of sannyasis in ISKCON. And I'll tell you why. Because they were very young sannyasis. It was unprecedented, right? Typically, a man goes through his life, householder life, so many things, and then as he approaches older age, then he renounces, takes sannyas. Prabhupada had a movement to start. He needed an army. He made 19-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds sannyasis. And they had the maturity of 19-year-olds, 18-year-olds, and 20-year-olds. So the mood started changing for the ladies in the temple. Prabhupada was always correcting them. Prabhupada was like the kind father. And they would always, the women shouldn't be living here. We should move them out. They should live. We used to stand in the temple room side by side, Prabhupada's Vyasa-san in the middle. Then all of a sudden, no, women should be in the back. And then we heard more and more, we didn't hear the words partnership. We heard the words submissive, surrender, like that. So I'm bringing this up because when householder life is, in my opinion, the most important ashram, because it's the most common. Not everyone will take sannyas. And even if there are wonderful sannyasis traveling around, the people in general need examples. They need to see how devotees actually live. And a Swami can come and preach and inspire. But just like a priest, people think he's a priest. He doesn't live like I live. But householder couples, they have the power to influence others how to live in this world in a Krishna conscious way. So it's a very, very important ashram. And it's the ashram that trains the children, which is the future. So very, very important ashram. So if women are not able to rise to their full potential, it suppresses the potential of the whole Hare Krishna movement. Because when people can rise to their full potential, they're going to get more accomplished, they're going to be more successful, they're going to be happier. I remember once Malati told me, my god sister, she ran a ashram for women many years ago, and similar to, I guess, the Krishna house we have in Florida, near a college, and the ladies would live there and they would go to school. And devotees would question her, why are you letting them go to school? Why aren't you telling them, stop everything? Because that's, when I was a new devotee, that was basically what was being told to us. No more participation in the world. You just drop everything and you join the temple. And Malati said to me, I don't know what Krishna has in mind for these devotees. I don't know what his plan is, and I don't want to interfere with it. And I really like that, because you don't know. So I thought I would start with this article written by my grandfather guru, because it, oops, here it goes. Because it kind of dispels that whole idea that one person is the servant of the other person in the household. Now there's another important reason for that. And besides the fact that it will prevent the woman from rising to her full potential if she's always kind of made to feel lesser than, right? If it's a partnership, many things are going to happen. Many good things are going to happen. Years ago, I read this book written by a psychologist. I found it interesting. I believe the name of the book was Love and Marriage. And this professor, psychologist, he, motivated by the divorce rate and how it disturbed him, he did research, and he started interviewing married couples from all over the world, hundreds of them, to try to come to get an idea of what makes a good marriage. Not a good marriage that someone dictates to you. I could say, this is a good marriage. No, each person has their own capacity for happiness and their own individual needs. So what makes you feel like you've got a good marriage, right? So he interviewed hundreds of families. And what he found was that the families that were not set in specific roles rigidly, the ones that were able to do the needful as need arose, those were the most successful families. For instance, maybe sometime the husband, he's working with a job, right? Like my parents, they had very strict roles. My mother stayed home, she cooked the meals, she cleaned the house. My dad went to work. What if the husband loses his job, right? What if the wife has to start earning some money? What if the husband gets sick? So, in those kinds of cases, the roles get reversed. That's an extreme example, but just in day-to-day life, a lot can come where there's some need for some adjustment. And the people that were most open to adjusting with each other, in other words, like a partnership, right? You have a partner in a business, and you want your business to be successful. So when something comes up, when needs arise, the partners discuss, and they together figure out how to adjust. So if families run like that, he found they're the happiest and longest lasting marriages. Now, I bring that up for another reason. Who here wants their kids to grow up to be happy, productive, and good devotees, and good husbands, wives, fathers, providers? Who wants that? Does anybody want that? Okay. So, how do we get there? Do we get there by teaching them, by telling them, this is what you do, this is what you do? Does anybody think that's the way to get there?
Anyone wants to speak?
Anybody have any ideas about that?
Not by telling.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, by teaching.
Yeah, by
Not by teaching, not by living,
Exactly. It's very interesting. Kids have radar, really good radar. They learn how to be men and women and mothers and fathers by how you are. However you are, your kids are going to learn to be that type of adult. So that's why, another reason why it's so important to arrange your family in such a way that there's harmony, no fighting, and the example of partnership. The kids, doesn't matter what you tell them. In fact, a lot of times what you tell them, they want to do the opposite. But they will learn from watching you. That's how they learn. So this information that this psychologist deduced, and actually he's written a bunch of books, and he helps people through their difficulties. For years, that's what he dedicated himself to do. In ISKCON, sometimes there's a stigma. When you join the temple as a young person and you join a brahmachari ashram, sometimes then when you decide you want to get married, it's like, uh-oh. There's like a stigma, right? Oh, he's falling down into the deep, dark well of householder life. But actually it's unfortunate that that's there, and I'm hoping that in our movement, we have so many beautiful courses now for devotees, disciple courses and Bhakti Shastri courses, so many courses to help devotees along their way. Again, when I was a new devotee, we didn't have a generation above us. We were kids, pretty much, bossing other kids around. Teenagers, young adults, right? Prabhupada was the only adult, really. So it was a little rougher. But now there's layers of wisdom and experience for all of you to take advantage of, which makes for a much, much easier path. And so if you make your marriages, if you work on your marriages so that they're very, very happy and healthy and Krishna conscious, and that's one thing the psychologist didn't know. He didn't know about Krishna. So having Krishna in the center makes a lot of that even easier to accomplish. There's something about Krishna consciousness that lightens and brightens. And you know how people usually, if they're mean or if they're angry, it's usually because they're not feeling good. There's something inside that makes them respond in those ways. And if you're Krishna conscious, that really gets minimized. We're human. It doesn't go away completely. People get angry, have bad days, good days. But if Krishna's in the center, you come home from work, you feel like you're in a really bad mood because you just had to battle through traffic and your boss gave you a really hard time that day, then you might say to your husband or your wife when you come in, I'm going to chant a couple rounds and calm down before we talk. So being conscientious about our own moods, our own feelings, our own attitudes is the key to success in married life. And the more successful you are in married life, the more successful you are in raising kids. Because that's half the battle. They're going to see what it means to be a good man, a good woman, a good devotee. They're going to see that. And even if they don't talk about it, even if they don't show you, over time you'll notice because it's in them. It'll be in them to behave in that way. And I think part of Prabhupada was really proud of his householders. He said, in 1967, he wrote to Jayananda, anyone who's in Krishna consciousness and is dedicating his life for Krishna is already a sannyasi, even if he's a married man or woman. So that's our goal. Our goal is to put Krishna in the center of our lives, to be conscientious. We learn about the qualities of devotees. We learn about the behavior of Vaishnavas, right? But sometimes in our families, because we're so familiar with our spouses, we don't see them as devotees of Krishna. We don't see them as servants of the servant. We don't think to treat them the way we would when we go to the temple and see another devotee there. But they are. They're also devotees. And Krishna wants us, he's more pleased when we get along than if we do things perfectly. That's something everybody should know right off. So sometimes there's lots of arguments about how something should be done. It's more important to get along than to be perfect. Imagine if you're in a household, you're the parents, and you want your kids to do something. You want them to clean their room. And one child wants to do it this way, the other child wants to do it that way, they start fighting. Who's right? Would you rather them fight and then do it perfect, or just get along and maybe it's not so perfect? As a parent, which would you prefer? So that's Krishna. He wants our love. He wants us to love each other. He wants us to be kind, and he wants us to raise children that are that way. So that's the main point in householder life, is to give that example. As far as I've seen some really, really good parenting in Krishna consciousness. Once you get that down, once your family is nice and congenial with each other, and regulated. Regulation is important. I had a friend, she asked me to watch her baby once. She was, I think, 4 or 5 years old. And this lady, she didn't have a regular schedule for her child, right? She just wanted to give her child whatever the child wanted. So I already had kids at that point, and I did it completely different, right? And when I went there to watch this baby, I was kind of shocked, because this kid, she was changing her clothes 3 or 4 times, throwing stuff on the floor. Then she went and started drawing pictures on the wall with crayon. I mean, she was just, children need structure, right? So structure is very important. If you start when they're very little and you have structure, this is your bedtime, this is your nap time, this is school time, this is, this is what you're eating today, this is what, I mean, you learn what they like, of course, and you want to make what they like to eat, but you structure it in such a way so that they don't have to think about it so much. Because if children start thinking about what they want, everything goes haywire. Because they don't have the discipline inside themselves to know what's good or bad for them. And they are just like little, chasing after their senses, and it's up to parents. And that's the beginning of sense control, is you have a regulated household. So the house is clean. Prabhupada told us that if you raised in a very clean house, you'll be uncomfortable when things aren't clean. So you'll carry that with you in your life. So to keep the house clean, to keep a nice schedule, and get a step ahead of them. This is a really good tip for parenting. If you learn what your kids like, if you know if they like sports, or if you know if they like reading, or if you know if they like music, whatever they, listen to them, watch them, understand their talents. Don't dictate, more observe, right? And encourage, and get ahead of them. Plan things for them that you know they're going to like to do. Don't leave them any idle time. I have a friend that's doing such an amazing job with her kids. She's just always a step ahead of them. And then as they became teenagers and started, then she arranged the bus tours, in Florida, those beautiful bus tours. This is Jamuna. She's so good with those kids. Her daughter just went for the summer to a farm, devotee farm in Sweden, where the youth, in that area, the youth run the show. Young, 16, 17-year-old kids. They're giving the classes, they're leading the kirtans, and she's just thriving in that. So if you can outsmart your kids, and you should be able to, get ahead of them, plan things for them, and keep things light, keep things fun, keep things happy. They'll never want to leave that environment. If it becomes a religion that's forced on them, you could do more damage than good. So I don't know, anybody have any feedback? I think that was what you wanted me to speak on, right?
Yeah, so let's maybe have some
Yeah,
questions.
questions?
So, my one quick question, just not for myself, but there are cases where the parents are devotees and the kids do not want to become, or the other way around, that incompatible situation many times. Then I've seen also temple, the kids come, they are very dedicated, but their parents will just like, don't do too much, But they want them to be a devotee kind of things, but when they're chanting seriously, going too much and absorbing to learn a little deeper, so they feel scared, even the parents. So, in order to know that how do they balance out, so that, as you mentioned, they know the talent. They said, I'm a devotional talent, not the music. So the Indian parents think it may be more academic wise, you are more career oriented, which gives them pleasure. But when you think about the devotional part, that gives them scary, that don't compromise your education and all. So how do you really see the perspective in that situation?
Yeah, so you're talking about when you raise your kids as devotees and then the kids really get serious and the parents start saying, uh-oh, wait a minute, right? What about the rest of their lives? What about money, and what about grandchildren, and what about that? Well, it's about guidance. It's about guidance. Because we all know that we've all had those moments, I would imagine, where you feel like you don't want anything but Krishna, right? It's just so good and so beautiful. You want nothing else. But there's part of you that thinks practically, not impulsive, right? You have to think the long. So I think that's where you have to explain to your children that life has responsibilities, there's duties, and there's growth. There's growth that happens when you go to school, when you have to earn money. All those stages of life can really help you to mature. Now, what about Prahlad Maharaj, right? No one's going to tell him to do anything else. There are cases of young men that just want to join the ashram, and that's all they want. And Prabhupada taught us that anything you do for Krishna, there's never any downside to it. So you might be thinking, oh, he'll waste these years. But Krishna makes the arrangement. You don't waste your years. Even if your son or daughter wanted to live in an ashram for some years, and he came out and decided, all right, now I'm ready to maybe get married, right? We've seen that a lot. Krishna makes the arrangement that those years you spent away didn't hurt your economic development. It's never going to hurt your economic development. Our god brother Pushta Krishna, he joined the movement. He dropped out of school. He joined the movement. He was one of Prabhupada's sannyasis for many years. Helped open temples, preaching everywhere. And then it hit him as a young man, probably in his 40s at that point. I really should be married now. I need to be married. He took Prabhupada's permission. He went back to medical school, became a top doctor. Quickly, easily. Everybody has their karma. It's kind of already decided, your happiness and distress, rich, poor, all that. It's kind of already decided. And anything you do for Krishna doesn't hurt that, even if it seems like it might. So you have to be careful with that. I would always just fan the spark, and whatever devotion they have, let it grow, let it. One of my friends, close friends, just had that happen. Do you know Narayani in Los Angeles? Okay, so she's older woman. She's a disciple of Satsvarup Maharaj. Her grandson, Dhruv, nice boy. I mean, we were so attached to him. We watched him grow. And he started a child's Rath Yatra on the streets every year because he wanted to do it. So they built a child's cart, and before the big Rath Yatra in LA, they do a children's Rath Yatra. The families all participate and cook. They do it up and down the street because Los Angeles, when I was living there were hundreds of kids because the apartment buildings were filled with householders, and we had lots of kids. Now it's a little less, but still a lot of kids, 20, 30, 40 kids. So we'd have this small Rath Yatra. He started that. And he's beautiful, leads kirtans and beautiful, plays drum, plays harmonium. Pukka devotee. Went to live after school, after he graduated. He went to live in Vrindavan for, I think, for 6 months, a year maybe. And he wanted to stay. He just wanted to stay there. And Panchagoda, my godbrother, temple president in ISKCON Vrindavan, encouraged that he should stay there. But his mother wouldn't have it. Now, his mother knew him better than he knew himself, you know, and wanted him to have some tools to get through life. So he was unhappy. He came back, but he's got a job. He can work from home. He helps with us. He's very engaged in service, and he's learning his career. No harm in that. And his mother was wise. It was a wise decision. So you have to kind of balance it. You have to search in your heart, you know. You can't, if you're trying to take them away from Krishna, that's not good. But if you're thinking for their well-being, like not for your own, like selfishness, you know. Krishna consciousness is a tricky path. That's why it's called the science of self-realization. Because as you're striving to develop bhakti, a light's going on inside, and you see your own motives more clearly. And only in seeing them can you deal with them. And those motives are your anarthas. So introspection is a really, really important part of spiritual life. In the second canto of Bhagavatam, well, I'll start from how I came upon this verse. It's Krishna magic. Krishna magic happens all the time. You'll have a question in your mind, something you're really wanting to understand, and then a day later you'll read something from Prabhupada and it's there, the answer's there. It's Krishna magic. So I was on a text chain, and it was disagreements amongst devotees about things, and the things that were being said were very disturbing to me. And I thought, gosh, Srila Prabhupada, you gave us the peace formula for the whole world, but we're really kind of a small part of the world, and why can't we even just get along amongst ourselves? And it was kind of gnawing at me. How can we expect others to accept this as the peace formula when if they Google, they're going to see all this internal stuff that goes on? The next day I have Bhagavatam classes. We started in my home. We went back and started from the beginning of Bhagavatam. And then I read this, and it's a real heavy purport. It's a beautiful purport. I didn't expect to be saying this, so I didn't put it right in top, but I'll find it in 1 second. Yeah, I know what to do. Search it. SB. Okay. Here it is. Okay. In the purport, in Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, second chapter, verse 30, after a very long description about our sadhana and the process of sadhana, Prabhupada says, and this is just a little part of that purport that struck me, if sufficient care is not taken, then the watering process, so I'll go back a little. the Guru plants the seed of bhakti in our hearts, right? The bhakti lata bij is planted in our heart. When we chant Hare Krishna, we're watering that seed. When we're doing devotional service, we're watering that seed. But Prabhupada teaches us that just like in any garden where there's a beautiful seed that's being watered, there are weeds that grow around it. So even in Krishna consciousness, we might have our own specific type of weeds. Profit, adoration, distinction, I'm very important, I am temple president, I am very important, I am consciousness. We might have our own specific type of weeds. Profit, adoration, distinction, I'm very important, I am temple president, I am very important, I am consciousness.
I think it's one for the
Technical difficulties. So that's the watering process, right? The watering process is our devotion, our devotional activities is watering. But we have to tend the garden.
Bluetooth disconnected. Bluetooth pairing.
We have to tend the garden. And this is what Prabhupada says about neglecting that garden. If sufficient care is not taken, then the watering process may only help to breed the weeds. That hit me like a bomb. Only the weeds. No longer the kripa. We actually could be chanting day after day after day, only watering weeds. Because we're not looking inside. Taking life for granted, taking each other for granted. Just on automatic pilot. Chanting and chanting and chanting. And the weeds are just growing and growing and growing. He says, only help to breed the weeds, stunting the healthy growth of the main kripa and resulting in no fructification of the ultimate requirement, love of God. So, pretty heavy statement. And I read that with this on my mind, and I thought, oh, okay, that makes sense. It's consciousness, right? We have to be aware all the time. How are we speaking? How are we interacting? How are we appearing if we're representing? How are we treating each other? How are we speaking to, are we looking at our children like they were sent to us by Krishna for us to help them advance in spiritual life? Or do we think they're our servants? We can boss them around. So all these things are really important. What Prabhupada gave us is so valuable and so serious. And as soon as you start kind of just relaxing and kind of going on automatic pilot, then it's like if you're driving your car and you're not paying attention on the road, like really paying attention. Something comes out, or somebody stops short. You can't relax. You can't just relax behind the wheel. In Krishna consciousness, you shouldn't relax behind the wheel. You have to be aware of everything you say to someone and everything, all your actions. Are you acting like the servant of the servant of the servant? Prabhupada did. I joined because Satsrup Maharaj did. One of the things I remembered so strongly was he was enthusiastic that we were enthusiastic. We were I think there were 5 of us that were coming every day. And he was so happy we kept coming. And when he saw us, he offered his obeisances to us. He saw us as Prabhupada sending us. And I was so impressed, because he taught us how to offer obeisances, so we of course offered ours. but he did it to us, and we were just these hippie kids in blue jeans. And that made such an impression. I felt like this is spiritual life. I was a Catholic, and in Catholicism, you read a lot about the saints, and you read a lot about the qualities of saintliness, humility, and turning the other cheek, and do unto others as you would have them do to unto you. So many things like that. And sometimes in Krishna consciousness, we forget. We get caught up in the hierarchy of things, right? We have a position, and if you deviate from that position, sometimes it causes difficulty. But I think that if we communicate properly, we can overcome all of these difficulties. Learning how to communicate is a big part of the process. So if something happens, you don't just ignore it, or you don't react, but you explain in a nice way how you feel, how it made you feel, and that's conscious living, and that's what we're doing here. And if we do that, then we'll have happy, healthy kids. And even if they become teenagers and they go off, I remember reading in I think it was Siddhartha, the book Siddhartha. That was one of the books we read as young people. A few books that went around before we met Prabhupada. Your children are like arrows. You point them, you teach them, you point them, but then you let it go. You let it go. And the wind comes, But you're steady and loving, and it's in there. You did the right thing, and it'll come out. It'll come out. Anyway, I'm going on too long now. Anybody have any comments, feedback?
Questions, please use the microphone to ask about. Can you talk?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you for the wonderful class. It was an eye-opening. I had one question, like you mentioned that it's always better to be ahead of your kids, think ahead of them. And we as parents are already dealing with a lot of things, like you go to office, you deal with everything, other things. But sometimes we ourselves get so demotivated that, you are taking care of your spiritual life, you're trying to do everything. But then, also taking care of somebody else and, pacing them up also is another task. So how do we motivate ourselves to help them and help ourselves?
It's tough. It's tough. I mean, Prabhupada would say sleep less. When devoted, how will I get everything done and get my rounds done? Sleep less. Yeah, you just do it, one foot in front of the other. You want to arrange them to have good association, so you make plans for them to get together with other devotee kids. I mean, there's just the more you do this, the better the outcome will be. It's hard. I think the motivation comes in watching the effect it'll have. When you see that they're happy when they tell you a story about Krishna because they just heard it with their friend, or they just listened to a class, that will make you feel so satisfied. If you let them just decide for themselves, they might not go the way you want them to go. It's hard being a parent. In this world, it's really hard being a parent. But like I said, you have each other, and it takes a village, and that's part of it too. Work together. Find your group that can help raising these kids. We were lucky in that, even though it was a little tough back in the day because there weren't any grandparents or anybody around. We had each other. and, you know, our kids were free to go to each other's homes. There was no meat being cooked in these homes. There was no, Prabhupada was always playing in these homes, you know. And then I used to, I volunteered to be watch the little ones. So we'd pile them in a van and take them to some park, and then we'd tell them, you know, look, there's Ravana's palace, because we'd pass, I remember in LA, you pass the big refineries with the smoke coming out of the smokestacks. Ravana's palace, you know. Everything was about Krishna, you know, all the time. The sand dunes and, you know. And, you know, we had each other. That's probably the best, is to get the support of friends. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. My question was more around, like you described this Krishna conscious journey is a lifelong journey, right? You have to pace yourself. So how does one identify, like from the beginning of we're new to Krishna consciousness, maybe not 2 years in, but I want to know, like looking at your long journey in Krishna consciousness, sometimes you know that I know exactly what I want to do right now, and then you're confused the next moment. And so how do you pace your journey in Krishna consciousness so you know that you are doing the best you can at each point or each point of the journey, while at the same time, like for example, we have kids, so we want to be able to balance between the sale we are doing, raising the kids, take care of life and just all the other things that's happening. So how do you pace yourself? Like for example, you also want to grow up, you want to do more of reading. There's so many things to do at the same time. So how do you pace yourself so that you have a very nice journey in Krishna consciousness?
You know, Krishna's in your heart. Krishna's in everybody's heart. And the direction, he's directing your spiritual journey, actually. So if you pay attention, if you're new and you're just chanting 4 rounds, 1 round, 2 rounds, whatever you're doing, do it with attention, do it with care. And the inspiration for the next steps will come. The opportunities will just come. You'll meet, that perfect person that's going to help you, you know, take care of your kids, or help you do something to give you a little more time to read more. It's all Krishna magic. It's really there. It's always there. Krishna magic is always there. And it comes as a reciprocation. Prabhupada said, you take 1 step towards Krishna, he takes 10 steps towards you. So we have to sometimes get out of our heads and just have a little faith in the process. And if you just take care in the sadhana that you have, it'll be evident what to do next and next and next. And be patient. We're not patient. We're like, I want it now. I've been chanting for 25 years. Why don't I, no. You just have to be patient. It's coming from Super Soul. It's coming from Prabhupada. So just stay in good association as much as you can. Read as much as you can, squeeze it in. It's good to read a little bit before you go to sleep at night. Catch your head in a good spot. And maybe in the morning, and chant and pay attention, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you for this wonderful session. It's not really a question, it's just a feedback. The point that you mentioned, it's all about the love of Krishna is starting from home, right? Be it husband and wife or partner, the love between each other and the happiness within the family, the harmony, right? That really makes, it's all about that is more important to start with than, the love of Krishna. So that really, love of Krishna is really mean starting from home. point that you made, that was really wonderful.
Thank you. It's difficult to practice spiritual life in a unharmonious environment. You know, you want to create a peaceful, serene environment. That's the type of environment that's going to be conducive to hearing and chanting and remembering Krishna. If there's disturbance and there's a fire in the house, it's not conducive to spiritual life. So Prabhupada wanted us to be peaceful. And how to be peaceful? Well, part of what happens is if you understand the science behind it, that helps, right? So we know the three modes of nature, we've all heard about that. There's the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Each mode of nature brings certain qualities, right? And everyone here on this planet is a mixture of those three modes of nature, depending on past lives, karma. The mode of goodness brings self-satisfaction, peace of mind, cleanliness, healthy eating, a feeling of serenity. That's mode of goodness. Mode of passion, constant hankering, constant. Prabhupada said pinching. I remember reading, he said you can tell how much advancement you're making by, are you feeling pinching of material desires. Mode of passion, you want to accomplish, you want to get things done, you want to do. And then the mode of ignorance, it's sleep, it's uncleanliness, it's rotten food or old food, it's madness, intoxication. So each one of us has some mixture of those things. The mode of goodness is most conducive for spiritual life. So there are things you can do in your household to bring that about. Keeping it clean, eating good healthy foods, cut down on the spicy stuff. Really, it's hard, I know. Especially the Indian devotees. They love their spices. But that's food in the mode of passion. So there's things you can do to have a more sattvic environment. And those things help with creating a serene environment to have spiritual life.
Thank you, Mataji.
Anybody else have any
Did you use the microphone?
feedback or questions
Yes, Mataji.
or arguments? Anybody?
I had a follow-up question on
Ah,
you mentioning about conducive environment for practicing Krishna consciousness. So, coming from a perspective of, let's say, you have a household to maintain and you have some obligations to just get along with the day, right? And just not be in a very precarious situation. If you can see things, I need to plan for so and so, like just being ahead of me. Right? So, at what point does one have a balance between, for me to be able to do all of this, I know I have to have this much of time and minimum amount of time to be spent on my, it's a job or something like that, or I need to have so and so kind of arrangements taken care of, so it doesn't overwhelm me when I'm practicing my devotional life, right? So at what point because sometimes I feel that, okay, we're doing too much. I don't think this is sustainable, kind of thing, right? So when is it good to pull back and say that I'm okay to give up some things because it's starting to affect my devotional life, right? So it's coming really in the way of just being able to practice normal life. So how does one decide that? Because it's always like, a battle that you will be facing that, okay, I'm doing too little, I'm just over-indexing on something or something like that.
it's great to think that way. If you think that way, that's half the battle. If you're thinking my spiritual life is priority, I might not be able to handle as much as I do. Where can I let go of some things? If you're thinking like that, that's proper thinking. You're putting your Krishna consciousness first. And it's just a personal thing. You have to kind of see how things go, and you have to weigh it out, use your intelligence, and decide, what can you let go? Maybe I don't need 2 jobs anymore. You know, maybe we're doing okay with just one. Maybe I should move closer so I don't have such a long commute. Maybe, whatever, you kind of take it. I know that Srila Prabhupada, when he was a young man and he met his Guru Maharaj, he was a pharmacist. He had a business. And after some time, after he met Srila Bhaktisiddhanta and really started wanting to help him, right, that became important to him. At the same time, his business started failing. Prabhupada would say, you know, if you don't give it up, Krishna can just take it from you. So it's easier to if you voluntarily give it up than having it pulled out from under you. But if you're thinking along those lines, you'll figure it out, you know. And you won't lose out. Sometimes you think, oh, I'll lose this or that. But you never lose them, you know. I've been through so many different stages in my life, and even in the hardest, if you really believe that Krishna is your best friend and your well-wisher, that he's only doing things that are meant for your spiritual progress in your life, right? That once you make that decision to wake up in your human form, once you get on that path, Krishna takes over and he guides us from inside. And even if things go really, really bad, at that point, if you just hold on to that faith that Krishna's doing this for my own good somehow or other. Like Prabhupada felt when his business completely failed. And he was afraid to take sannyas. He would have dreams that his guru was calling him at night. And the struggles that he went through coming here, he had heart attacks on the boat. I mean, who at 69 years old, who would continue? If you were coming to America from India on a ship that didn't have any comforts, it was a cargo ship, right? So that, you know, if you've ever taken a cruise, those cruise liners are specially designed so they kind of go smooth. Cargo ships don't have any of that. They're just bumpy rides the whole way. And you have a heart attack and you keep going. You keep going. He kept going. For us, you know. And then, as a result, look at this beautiful movement we're in. So, if you just hang on to that knowledge, I often think of it as when you're in the army, they give you these things that's called an obstacle course, right? And it's meant to build up your strength and your muscles that you're going to need to fight the battle. And I always feel like Krishna gives each one of us a personal obstacle course, right? With our lessons that we need to, slowly develop strength and detachment and knowledge along the way to come to him. So you just keep having the faith that he's our well-wisher, and Super Soul will guide you. Is that okay?
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much. It's nice class and sharing your experience with Prabhupada. That's what we wanted to hear. So Mataji, when you brought up the children suppose in LA, and that time, like it's maybe 40 years back at least, and it was very different. That time there was no technology, there was no phones, so that they would be distracted, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why when you showed them the path of Krishna consciousness, it was very easy, it was without distraction. But right now, even though at homes we follow everything Krishna consciousness, but when kids go to school, especially in middle and high school, it becomes very tough for the parents to control them. You know, it's really a struggle for the devotee parents. I see how to, you know, have those kids in Krishna consciousness, how to keep them. And I always advise is at least they are seeing the parents doing it, so they will be fine after a certain point of time. They'll be back, but still the anxiety is there in parents, right? So how to handle the teenagers who are in middle and high school at this point of time for devotee children?
Yeah, high school is hellish for our teenagers. That's really difficult. I was given a class at the temple last week for the kids, CPO class, 7th graders, and we were discussing the different, different things that can make them sway from doing the right thing. Things like peer pressure, and 2 of them raised their hand. Yeah, my friend once gave me a dare that I should jump off a 10-foot drop. And I said, you did it? He said, yeah. It's like, wow. Things like that, right? And that happens. That happens. You can only do so much, right? They don't belong to us. They've got their own karma. So if you can stay on top of it, if you can arrange for them to have good association, if you can gather together with other devotee families and try to raise the kids together so that they're having fun. I'm close to Jamuna, so I'm close to Jaya, her daughter, 17, and interestingly enough, Jamuna's been raising her daughter to be a devotee, and she's been resisting somewhat. She's mode of goodness. She's a very conscientious young lady, but she wasn't jumping in and chanting and reading Prabhupada's book. She was, skeptical. And, but Jamuna's guidance and their household is such a happy, loving environment. And her older brother, takes such good care of her. The environment is such that she's used to. Just like when Prabhupada says, keep the place clean so they'll be uncomfortable in a dirty environment when they get older. I think it's the same thing with keeping your household loving. So then they're uncomfortable in a unloving, tense situation. And I know that now Jaya in high school had friends, non-devotee friends. Those kids got boyfriends. Their relationships were terrible. Terrible. And Jaya was like learning from her friends what she didn't want for herself. She had a best friend that they were so close, little girls growing up. They did everything together. Now the girl's got a boyfriend, and the boyfriend's telling her, you're too fat, I want this, I like that, these things. And she's watching her friend just lose herself because of this crush on this boy who's not even very nice to her. But the point being that Jaya could see it because of the environment she was raised in. She was able to see it. So the best you can do is just have a good environment for them to grow in. That's like the best you can do. And then if they're in the world and they feel a different environment, they won't like it. Keep them in the mode of goodness. Take them to have them hike in the woods and appreciate nature and whatever you can do, to keep them in the mode of goodness. Try to keep them. But there's only, you never know. And you just hope it's temporary when they go through things. But high schools are really, I know in Alachua, where I am, the school, the devotee school, it takes the kids through, I think, 10th grade. I think it's 10th grade. And then from there, they get their GED and they start college. They can enter, they have a program in the university that brings kids up to college level initially, their first year. And they can skip high school. If you can get your kids to skip high school, they're better off somehow. And cell phones, yeah, cell phones are ruining. Kids commit suicide, they get depressed, social media, it's not healthy for them. So, set limits from the time they're little. Don't give in to being a lazy, yeah, they're on their phone, they're leaving me alone. It's harder to raise them without that stuff. Without the freedom of any TV, anytime they want, the cell phones. It's easier to just let them do it, right? Because then they're not bothering you. But if you can resist that urge to let them do those things and set good boundaries, that's helpful, I think.
Thank you, Mataji.
You did so, look at your boys.
But they didn't go to school, so.
Yeah, it's your
When you
homeschool.
said I always advise them after 10th grade to send them to community college.
Yeah.
I tell them to skip the high school. And you said the same thing, so which is good.
Yeah, that's another thing too. I know that people typically you want your kids to go to the best schools, right? And to get the best education. But be smart. Don't just follow that path. Because if they can get their GED, which is a real easy test, easy test, and start the community college, maybe that's not so prestigious, but it'll really protect them. Because the students going to community college are a lot more mature than the high schoolers. And a lot of times in the really good colleges, they'll get involved in fraternities that are awful. They make the kids do these, what do they call it, hazing? Those, to join, you have to do crazy things and get involved, and it's a lot of drugs and partying, and, it's a lot of times it's kids that come from wealthy families, they're very puffed up and they're very spoiled, yeah. And so don't buy into that materialistic outlook. We're paving our own way. We're devotees of Krishna, got our own way. Even when you pick a career, pick a career that's going to give you time for devotional service. I was lucky because I didn't really have a calling, and I joined when I was 18 years old. And I didn't have a professional calling. I wasn't like dying to be a doctor. I didn't have those feelings, right? So whenever I was needing a job, I would always think, okay, I want a job that I can take off on the days of the holidays so I could always be there for Janmashtami and Vyasa Puja. And I also want to be able to be there for my kids in an emergency, because I had kids at home. And I just made that my criteria, not the money and the prestige and but different people are different. Some people are really scientists, and that's their path. But still, just put Krishna in the center of whatever your path is, and you'll be guided in a different. Don't buy into the whole materialistic plan. Anyway, is that okay?
We have two more questions. Put the microphone. Mataji has not asked much.
No more questions or feedback, realizations, anything? No?
Please, one more question from Mataji. Great children. Those who are aspiring to be parents.
Aspiring, who's an aspiring parent?
Anyone? Huh? Okay, aspiring grandparent.
Yeah.
If you're not,
All right, well, thank you very much.
give the microphone.
Ollie,
Yeah. No, I think we like to extend our, is it working?
Hare Krishna.
yeah.
I'd like to extend our deepest gratitude, thanks to Mother Jagarini. Please give a big round of applause.
Thank you all so much.
As you know, there was a drama performed long time ago in ISD about Mother Nirmala and Jagarini, how they joined Krishna consciousness. We'll send the YouTube link, you should watch it. It's very fun. I think our youth, they became Jagarini and Nirmala, and then how when the hippie movement and became Krishna conscious. You have heard about ISKCON and all hippies, so you can see one hippie here in front of you. It was in the 70s that time. But anyway, we are very pleased, and she has been very instrumental in guiding me, mentoring me, and giving advice whenever we need some directions how to operate. Because you never know in next 10, 20 years, we may not have proper disciples on the planet, which is the second generation like us, which we have not seen Prabhupada but met Prabhupada. There will be some time it will come, there will be no first or second generation. Nobody has seen even proper disciple. All the second generation, they will be completely a new course of. But anyway, ISKCON is evolving in its own religious movement. So we are very thankful, but on the other hand, we have also few announcements. Just let me climb to the seat. This our Rath Yatra, 59th annual Rath Yatra in San Francisco, Golden Gate Park. So if you have anyone registered for volunteering, you are most welcome to come to ISKCON Berkeley or to Golden Gate Park to do the decoration of the cart or cooking or anything. Couple of hours, that's why we put 3-hour slot. If you can't make it, that's not bad also. You can definitely come on Sunday. It starts 11 a.m. Please make sure you come earlier so that you park well and prepare for the cart on the stage. So I don't know how the weather is that day, because sometimes the weather is very unexpectedly changing every day. So please prepare for getting a jacket or sweater and coming there. So this is one, and then also we have our second announcement is next Saturday we'll have our regular Saturday program. We'll have Pushpa Abhishek for Radha Krishna, Radha Sam Sundar, just we did once a year. We did last year, and we are going to do, we did a holy, but we are going to do just the Pushpa Abhishek for Radha Astami, which is on Saturday. And then on September second week, what is the 11th or 14th? 14th? Huh? No, Sunday, September 14th we have program here, but Sunday 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. we'll have the Hare Krishna Unity Run, Sycamore Park. So we'll have the brunch prasadam, and I think last year who joined? A lot of people. So it's really fun, it's a kind of a mini picnic, but we'll have a Unity Run to go for 3 miles run and come back, and we'll have a picnic and then leave. So we'll have a brunch. So we'll set out the details about the program. So that's like the upcoming one, which is coming. And then the last but not the least, we are very thankful to the cook today, Lakshmi Mataji. She's there, and Kalasuri cooked also. She did. And also Yogapeeth Mataji, that's for a special thing. Her daughter Priya's birthday celebration. They're sponsoring for Priya's birthday. We are going to do a cake cutting in front of Jagarini Mataji. You are very lucky. So you got a proper disciple here, Samlan Prabhu and Mataji, and also grandmom is here. So we'll have, how old she is now? Priya? 5-year-old. She's 5-year-old now. So we have a table here. Please arrange your cake. We can do cake cutting here, and serving will be outside. Is it okay? So cake cutting will be done after the nursing prayer, but in the meantime, you can prepare for the table and the cake. And I would also request if somebody can bring the kids. Generally they sing the nursing prayer and a little kirtan and Pushpanjali. If somebody can go and ask them, hey, time for you to do this kirtan. And we have Gopal, actually it is not our Gopal, it's a Prema Kishori's Gopal. They came for the last Janmashtami for the, we are all in ISV, so few devotees, Samdan Prabhu and others who made arrangements. There are almost 70 devotees came, newcomers, almost 50, 60 newcomers came. So that was good actually. We did, and the Gopal was there very mercifully there with Chula, which is made by Nidhi Mataji. She made a Chula. So nicely come. I think we bought it today because we want to give it to her. Bursar income. She will take. Yeah, somebody has to drop at their home. Gopalji. Okay, kids, please do come here. Sit next to Mataji's there. Or you can sit there, that's fine. You can sit in the front because there is another broadcasting video is going on. You can sit there, all of you, and I'll give the mic. So we'll chant the nursing prayer, and after the nursing prayer, please be line up. We'll offer the Pushpanjali to Lord and the Aarti. Okay, who wants to hold the mic? Come closer, sit. One, go into one, okay? Nursing prayer, then after that chant Hare Krishna for 5 minutes, okay? Thank you.
Try.
Someone take the flowers.
Namaste Narasingaya.
Hare
Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Did you boys see the Nishinga movie? You didn't go see it yet? You did? Oh, you did? Did you like it? Thank you, Paul.
Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivrajaka Acharya Stottra Sutta Avachana Bhakti Vedanta Swami Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Maharaj ki jai. Nitya Leela Pravishta Stottra Sutta Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada Maharaj ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिगोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम मथुरा धाम की जय। श्री श्री नवदीप मायपुर धाम की जय। गंगा माई जमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। ऑल ग्लोरी टू द होली, ऑल ग्लोरी टू द होली, all glories to the Holy Holy, all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Hari Hari Bol. So before we chant the Mahaprasadam prayer, please come. Priya, please come here. Jagarini Mataji, please come. Give your blessings. Please come, parents, and all of you can be seated. Okay, in his speech, you'd like to say something? Hare Krishna. Just say Hare Krishna. I won't chant Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you for the nice cake, Mom.
Okay. Please speak by your mom.
We are very happy that in this place now we have association with devotees because it's very important. Previously we used to go to Russian Namahat every week, but it was so far. So now we are happy that we no need to go so far to get association. So we are in this program and I hope this will be continued. So we wanted to celebrate her birthday with our family of devotees. So we are very happy to be with you all.
Thank you very much, Sana. Come on. We'll sing for you, okay? Devotees and kids, are you ready? Please come. Hare Krishna to you. Hare somebody take picture. Hare Krishna, dear Priya. Hare Krishna to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Priya. Happy birthday to you. Please go on. Please do the cake cutting. Your mom maybe take that. Okay, don't hold the knife from the bottom. Don't hold the knife. Yeah. Thank you.
Just one cup.
Yeah, one cut is good. One more then. Okay, that's good. Keep the knife down first. Yeah, that's important. Now you can take the cake out and you all will get, okay? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.